Welcome back to what promises to be one of the most thought-provoking segments of CAHOCON. We are now moving into sessions that challenge not just what you do and how honestly we reflect on it.
Now, let's be honest. CAPA is something all of us believe in, at least during audits, and perhaps revisit just before the next audit.
This session is going to unpack a bold and slightly difficult question. Are we truly fixing systems or just becoming very good at documentation what we tried?
We now have an exceptional panel representing both sides of this debate. Because in healthcare, if there's one thing that we do very well, it's having data, documents, and opinions. Moderating this high-energy discussion, we have leaders who deeply understand operations and quality. I welcome on stage Mr. Gaurav Loria, Senior Vice President and Group Head Operations, Experience and Safety, Apollo Hospitals Group, and Dr. Anna George, Head of Quality, Aster India.
Gaurav, hi.
Hi Anna, how are you?
I'm good. Meeting you after such a long time.
Yeah, I guess so.
You're very busy, I guess, heading such a big group as Apollo.
Yeah, lot of
So
work
many
keeps us
things.
busy.
And both of us share a common interest in quality. It's been long years that we've been working in quality,
Yes.
something similar.
Yes.
How long has it been since you have been in quality?
I don't want to talk about how old I am.
Even though age is just a number, you're always evergreen. We all know that.
Yes.
But I think close to a decade probably.
Yeah.
I just want to know, it's interesting to know what part of quality was actually very challenging for you?
So I think it's a great question. Somehow some of the hospitals try to manage accreditation, but I think what happens after accreditation, CAPA, corrective and preventive action, is that a real robust tool that we use, or it's just a compliance eyewash? Is it a facade that we put to, screen the opportunities or the problems that you have in your organization? Actually, 60 to 70% as per the studies, those problems that have been identified resurface in your organization within 12 to 16 months. And 70% of these problems are identified as training issues. Tell me, medication error happened, what did we do? CAPA, we trained a nurse. That one poor nurse who was trained, you close the problem and then it resurfaces. You have actually not addressed the root cause of the problem. That is the issue.
Hold on. That's an operational issue or a leadership issue. We can't say always that closing CAPA is an eyewash. I mean, we can't generalize. Maybe your experience has been that way, but mine has not been. I find that the non-compliances that come is an opportunity for improvement, but it's always about how we look at them. What is the intent? Like many of us study for an exam just to pass. We study to pass, but some of us actually study for wisdom. So why don't we look at it that way? And it's all about the approach is what I feel. But then I guess today, both of us will keep arguing this on stage, and people have to listen to that. Why don't we hear from some experts who are above us, who have experience beyond our years, and some of the best healthcare minds in the country? What do you say?
Sure, let's get them. I would love to invite Dr. Anil Mulpur, Joint Director and Head, Sri Sathya Institute of Higher Medical Sciences from Bangalore. Dr. Anil, may I please request you to come on the stage?
Oh my God, who have you got on your side?
Trust me, they will show you the right picture.
I am no less. You got a policeman, I'm going to get a captain. Captain Bobby Ramesh, where are you?
Can we have Captain Ajitha Nair, Head of Health-Based Healthcare? Can we please request you to come on the stage? Can we have a little round of applause? I'm sure all of you had lunch, guys.
We have the police, we have the army, now who else? Aha. Let's get some charm into the whole this. Dr. Sanjeev Singh, Medical Director, Amrita Institute of Medical Sciences, Faridabad.
May I request Dr. Parag, Rindani, Group CEO, Wockhardt Hospitals to please come on the stage.
Oh, we've got drama, is it? Then we need to get another drama artist. Dr. Suneel Mundkur, where are you? Senior Consultant, HOD, Paediatrics, KMC, Manipal.
Before we actually get into this argument, and each one of us try to prove our point, and we definitely feel we are the winners, we actually got a footage of the other side of the team. And we would like to show that footage to this smart audience sitting here to show what was planned by this team. Can we have the video, please? No, not this one. Taking some time, but trust me, it's gonna be worth it.
Drama, drama, and more drama.
In the meanwhile, may I ask this team, do you actually agree with what I said? No, right?
All right. Before we go in there, let's be honest with each other. What is CAPA in most hospitals? A very well-organized folder.
That too, a color-coded one.
Now, when we walk into that room, we appear confident, well-referenced, and fully convinced that CAPA works. Bobby opens. Sanjeev, cite something. Suneel, just sound like a professor.
What if they ask for actual evidence?
We thank them for the question, say some made-up data, and then we move on.
So, that's the reality. That just happened yesterday. I hope people who were there for dinner remembers Anna in the same dress that she was wearing yesterday. So I think it's clear that this was the conversation that happened between these three. They have already accepted that CAPA is an eyewash, but let's start with our team. I would request Dr. Anil to please start first.
I object here. I was not in sari yesterday when everybody else was.
SSR
You just changed.
मेरे को
Ajitha,
क्वालिटी टीम वाले उसके सामने बच्चे हैं. हाँ? ये प्रिंसिपल एसएसआर को देख के इतना ना, उनमें इतना दम नहीं है कि एनसी लिस्ट पूरा हटाने का. तू एक प्रिंसिपल एसएसआर को ही देख रहा है. जो तू नहीं देखा वो मैं देख चुका हूँ प्री असेसमेंट में.
यस सर. सर, ये एनएबीएच रूल्स पे नहीं है. एक्सक्यूज मी. इतने अच्छे से रूल्स के बारे में बोल रहा है. तू रूल्स फॉलो नहीं करेगा और हम रूल्स फॉलो करेंगे. यहाँ का मैं हूं किंग और मेरे चलते हैं रूल्स, और उन रूल्स को अपने हिसाब से बदलता रहता हूं मैं. तो उन्हें चुपचाप फॉलो करो. हुकुम, टाइगर का हुकुम.
Sai Ram, and a very good afternoon. I don't know why we spend so much time when we all know CAPA is an eyewash. So much so now most of the healthcare organizations have got eyewash stations on every floor for routine practice before the actual assessment. But have you noticed that CAPA meaning it is actually an EPA, means it is error-prone abbreviation. It means different things to different people. It can mean, for example, college accounting procedure automation for somebody who's from Orissa. So let us avoid the confusion. From today, CAHOCON 2026, CAPA should be actually called CRAPA. So you've got CRAPA cycle 1 and CRAPA cycle 2. It is corrective action and preventive action. What happens during an accreditation? Principal assessors like me who will say, Hukum, SSR ka hukum. Everybody starts shivering, looks at that NC list, they quickly gather evidence, time is ticking away, they will give CAPA submission, accreditation committee will ponder once, twice, 85 out of 100 times accreditation granted. 10 out of 100 times, they will call principal assessor, Anji, kaise hai aap? Sir, मैं बिल्कुल बड़ा हूँ, ठीक हूँ. Over, accreditation granted. NC closure we do, and we get accreditation, and that is the end of it. We are paper tigers. We close everything on the paper, but when it comes to the plan, we just go into a lull, and we are not bothered till the entire cycle is finished. We look at the human errors part in closure of this so-called NCs, but we don't really look at the systemic factors. Therefore, you will have the same old problems in every hospital, even in the 10th cycle of accreditation. We are looking at correcting the leak. We are not looking at correcting the problem, which is the pipe. So you need to have a systemic fix through the proper corrective action, preventive action as a teaching aid and a quality tool rather than a memo or an email. He's confused. We all are interested in only closing the non-conformities. We are not really bothered about systemic improvement. And that's the reason why that cycle is broken, the so-called CAPA cycle. We implement some action, 30 days later, go back to sleep till the next accreditation. There is always, like most of you have, a post-lunch hyperglycemia. There is a post-audit apathy, which can run into many months and years. Then suddenly you wake up, and then quality managers are quickly recruited, posted from one center to another center if you've got a big chain of hospitals, and they will be very happy doing closure and closure. Out of 1,000 incidents which will happen in any large hospital, we will forget 990, and only 10 of them come for the so-called CRAPA. This is because as nurses and as doctors, we don't own up the responsibility of implementing what is needed for a systemic change or organizational change. We are very good at closure of files, but on clinical floor, when you actually see what happens for the patient care, it is very unsafe. Every single day, there will be sentinel events in hospital, every hospital, and we are blind to it. So the illusion of improvement, where there is a break, it is, just forget it, there is no improvement at all. So it is an eyewash. We are here only to please the assessors. We are not here to improve the system. We cannot change the human condition, but we can change the conditions under which humans work. I would love to tell you at the end, there will be a note. This is not a dummy revolver. I am good at distance shooting. And in this entire hall, Shere Baluch's people are there. If any one of you raise your hands for CAPA is not an eyewash, do not hold me responsible. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Now let's hear it from the other side. Captain Bobby Ramesh, over to you.
Guys, do you remember what she said? What she said yesterday? Bobby goes first. This was the plan. She's going first.
What are you trying to prove?
You look photogenic, by the way, in the video.
It's AI.
Respected moderators, Mr. Gaurav and Dr. Anna, my distinguished co-panelists, dignitaries, dear friends and colleagues, a very good afternoon to all of you. First of all, I'd like to express my undoubted faith in the accreditation process and CAPA process. I'd also like to tell you all those quality managers, nursing aides in the group, clinicians, please raise your hands. Please don't get scared of this so-called Singham coming with a revolver to scare you. Not at all. There's a saying which says, what gets measured gets managed. And in healthcare, what gets ignored gets repeated. There's also another timeless truth which is very relevant to our discussion today. Insanity is doing the same things again and again and again and expecting different results. Audience, do you agree with me on this? Yes. Yes. If we accept these principles, I'm asking audience, please say yes. Yes.
It is a Zabardasti yes.
It is not Jabardasti. Do you agree with me? I said.
Except these 3 here.
If you accept these principles,
Yeah.
then post-assessment CAPA cannot be seen as a mere eyewash or an administrative afterthought. It is in fact a mechanism through which healthcare converts evaluation into improvement, observation into action, and intent into safer outcomes. My poor worthy opponents to dismiss CAPA as just an eyewash, they are fundamentally misunderstanding the role it plays in building resilient and learning-driven healthcare systems. CAPA is transformational. It reflects the difference between a culture of reaction and a culture of responsibility. Those in the audience would agree with me. When you have an audit, there are observations. These observations are not just a non-conformity, but a signal. A signal that says that a process needs redesign. A signal that says a behavior needs reinforcement. And CAPA, when implemented with seriousness, becomes the discipline through which institutions learn from these signals before they evolve into adverse events. CAPA is not a closure exercise. CAPA is a continuity exercise. It ensures that quality is not episodic, but quality is embedded. How many of you all in the audience in quality are nursing in a hospital? 75% of the quality and the assessment process is taken care of by the nursing team. Do you feel that there was an NC on a false? You had false. You close it as an eyewash? No. You say that it is an eyewash and just close it on papers? No. You work on that to reduce the number of falls. There were pressure ulcers in your department. You document it as a closure, as an eyewash? Done really working on that? Say yes or no. Yes. No. You don't close it as an eyewash. You work on that seriously. When backed by leadership commitment, frontline engagement, root cause analysis, and outcome tracking, CAPA is never an eyewash. It is governance in action. It is accountability made visible. And in an environment where one preventable lapse can change a life forever, this is not an eyewash. Is this an eyewash? No, it is not. It is responsibility at its highest form. I'd like to conclude by saying that don't get carried. How many of you all know Tamil? Please raise your hands. Singara Chennai, Vanakkam. Yes. I was thinking, Puli varudhu. A policeman came like a
Madam,
puli.
your 5 minutes are over.
Just a second more. Puli became Pune. Pune means cat. Puli means tiger. I thought a puli is coming, a Singham is coming, but then in the end he turned out to be a Pune because he was talking for us. He was confused and he was talking for corrective and preventive action. Thank you so much.
Thank you, madam, but the point is just by raising your voice and forcing people to say no while there are only these 3 people who are saying no, you can't prove your point. May I have my next Dhurandhar from this team, Captain Ajitha Nair, to please speak.
Sanjeev sir is next. Sanjeev sir, you're next.
Ladies and gentlemen, why do we go for accreditation?
Slide diagram.
Am I audible? Why do we go for accreditation? We need a stamp for insurance, for business. If it is to save lives year after year, we wouldn't have been seeing what we see every day in and out of the hospital. We are debating here whether CAPA is an eye wash. It is a soul wash, I would say. It's not only eye we are washing, it's our soul. Because the CAPA we do, every accreditation is done only to get rid of that observation. Same thing wouldn't have happened. Every month we have falls, every month we have pressure ulcers, every month we have so on and so forth. Luckily, we don't have every month patients getting operated on a wrong side. That is just our luck. But occasionally that too does happen. Now, when we debate on whether it is an eye wash or not, I'm sure all of you sitting here would have been either leading it or participating in it in your hospital. No, it is not only CAPA. CAPA comes much earlier, right? First we implement the standards. I don't know, is it by training or by habit? We do follow road safety rules if only a policeman is standing there or if there is a camera. I know where are cameras installed in my road by heart, okay? So I don't have to even think of it to reduce my speed when I drive on the road. So we are so conditioned to say lies after lies. We don't have heartache when we say that something is done when it is not done, or when we end up doing something which should not have been done. We do not feel bad about it. Generally, the commitment to patient, that we do our best to save their lives or to do betterment for their lives, for which they are coming to us and with a payment. We don't feel bad. Every day as a CEO, I live with it. That employees, everyone, and I do close eyes. I can't say that I don't close eyes. Effective implementation of CAPA depends on, it is not only the closure of non-compliances we talk about, we are talking about whatever is being reported. First of all, is it being reported? We are trained not to report, and if it is reported, we get punishment, even if it is a NC. The quality manager's promotion and perks depends on how less number of NCs he bring in. That small is our understanding about quality. And for suppressing things, if a patient falls, if it is not reported, we don't come to know. If there is a serious medication error happens, if it is not reported, as an administrator, as head of the hospital, or as head of nursing, or as head of medical department, I don't come to know about it. If it is not reported, we don't report because we are punished for it. Our salary is being cut because it is being reported. Now we report only those events where patients are involved and you know that you are going to get caught red hand. Those things are reported, small or big. Even smallest of the thing, if patient makes a hue and cry, it's a big event. And everybody is censored for that. Censored is a very decent term which I am using. You know what you undergo. So the attitude towards identifying the errors itself has to be corrected. we have to change, and we debate whether there is a quality-oriented culture in the organization. I am yet to see one organization with quality-oriented, time over?
1 more minute.
I am yet to see one organization which has actually quality-oriented culture where the head of the hospital says, come with an error to me, I'll give you a chocolate, I will appraise you. Because there is somebody above that who doesn't have the organization. So I think the problem is in our culture, in our blood, in the Indian way of looking at things. Hypocrisy has been nurtured in our country, and if we have to bring in safety and quality in our hospitals, we have to identify the Hippocratic culture and correct it. Maybe right from our homes, right in our medical schools, that saying truth and keeping up the integrity is what quality is all about. I rest my case here.
Thank you, Captain Ajitha. I think she was speaking for us. But to add to the points that you mentioned, Captain Ajitha, we have Dr. Sanjeev Singh, sir, from our team. Over to you, sir.
अरे संजीव तू फिक्र मत कर यार, मैं हूं ना.
Remember,
बच्चा है, मैं सब संभालूंगा.
CAPA is a nice folder, remember that.
This is why the organizing committee didn't strategically call the CEO of NABH this time. And Dr. Gyani C, you have created 3 big disasters. And today, Dr. Pawan Kapoor, aren't you, your head should drown in shame that these assessors who are also SSC can come and tell that हुकुम में accreditation grant हो जाता है. 1942 में होता था. Not any longer these days, but what do we do when they stay in the dark ages? So there was this wife who came in and got into the house and she immediately went into the bedroom and saw 4 naked legs on the bed, and she got extremely wild. She went into the closet, she got the baseball bat, started beating them so badly that there was no noise on the bed. She went to the kitchen and she saw her husband having a drink. You are the wife? So the husband was having a drink and husband said, "Hi honey, welcome back. Your parents had come over and I thought it would be nice to share our bedroom with them." These 3 are like the wife who are full of biases, full of myths and full of, मेरा presentation लगाओगे क्या? हाँ, okay. How do I run this?
You're supposed to press.
How do I run?
Just press. Slide changer.
Let's do a root cause analysis.
Okay, so here we have these urban Naxals who just can come and try to show a gun and be overweight, and then they say that hukum pe aapko accreditation mil jata hai. No longer those days are available. What is most important is either a Eyewash or a Patanjali body wash. Forget about all of this. We are looking at system strengthening. Unfortunately, they don't know anything about it. Inko kisne assessor banaya and how did they become an SSC? It's a matter of investigation. Is pe CAPA hona chahiye. The concern is that 4-letter word is a bad word. Unfortunately, 3 of them think all 4-letter words are bad word. Now, politics is an 8-letter word. Unfortunately, they think all 8-letter words are doing politics. They have no clue so much of hard work, so much of character are there within the assessors who do this work. Now, listen to this gentleman. Please listen to him.
Superhero, I guess our clinicians and nurses are quality superheroes in many ways.
He is
but
saying
if
they're
they were to
superheroes.
really be superheroes, I think one would be having the potential wisdom of post-haste sight or post
Listen to him.
sight. The second one is, I wish we all had an eraser or a magic wand with which
He
we
is
could
saying
just erase
eraser and a
erase
magic
away and
wand.
say, abracadabra, you're off. And I think the most important thing is if the quality superhero could have a sense of empathy for the fact that other people are also trying to work in clinical medicine and they're also trying to do.
This is called as PS Man of India. They are paranoid schizophrenic. They themselves don't know what they are speaking. On a YouTube channel, he is saying clinicians are the magic wand, and here he is saying they all do wrong practice. Eyewash. He is saying we should have an eraser and abracadabra. He does it, and today he has come on an opposite side and saying you all are doing false work. and to top it all, he's saying empathy. Out of these three people, empathy, the last word, because hardly we can expect anything out of them. The misconception, they think it is a paperwork. I couldn't do that with Ajitha because she is the captain, and I respect ladies. But it is a structured reality. Unfortunately, they don't understand anything which is structured, and it would be very, very difficult for them. I will end by saying that it is a culture. If I just get a minute to say, Swami Vivekananda traveled across India, and he got that divine knowledge, and he said that he need to go to the West to be able to say what he needs to say. He went to Chicago. His dress was given by Maharaja Khetri, and that's a photograph which you all see. So he went to the World Congress of Religion. 12 days he was there. Nobody addressed him. Nobody looked at him. One person saw him and said, "Hey, what are you wearing? You don't look like a gentleman." Swami Vivekananda paused and said, "In your country, tailor makes a gentleman. In my country, character makes a gentleman." So for all them, it is the character which makes the assessor, and thank you so much to have fantastic character and keep doing the good work.
Dr. Parag.
Thank you, sir. Well done. Please don't terrorize the audience with your revolver and lathi.
We don't have to. Audience is the smart audience.
Using AI, using reality. That's the difference.
A very good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. At the very outset, let's start by examining some facts. If we had CAPA, which was actually functioning well, if we really had CAPA, which was truly corrective and preventive in nature, would we really have the same problems, assessment on assessment, assessment on assessment? Let's take the classical example of signature, name, date, time. A perennial problem which exists in all accreditation. I'm not here to distinguish between national versus international. I'm truly vested in national accreditation, and I have vested too many years of my life as international accreditation. The fact remains that if we had CAPA which worked, and I'm going to give you clear scientific facts before I move to my 6 slides. If we had CAPA that worked, if you go back and look at your assessments over the last 20 years, you would find a lot of problems that keep repeating. Is it truly then preventive in nature, or is merely a correction, not even corrective action? Point number 1. Point number 2. We've had the privilege of studying CAPAs which come to us, scanned copies, Excel sheets, PDFs, and so on and so forth. Ladies and gentlemen, please understand, we are talking about Viksit Bharat 2047. If we want to continue to hobble along on hollow crutches of closing by way of saying, no, we did it, you are most welcome to vote for Sanjeev when he puts up a concocted video where he picks on certain words and says that this is what Parag says and this is how dokla or two-faced he is. The point being, if we really want to progress, would we want to do the right thing? I've received closures 1 day after assessment which shows me signatures of 4 days. I've received medical records which show that signature, name, date, time has been corrected. Let's not confuse your minds with what is correction versus corrective action and preventive action. That is a fundamental flaw. The third most important fact, ladies and gentlemen, my colleague Bobby, very learned colleague Bobby, very senior nursing professional, said that the signal was already there, you already knew it, so when the assessor comes and tell you, why then do you wake up? Ab tak kya kar rahe the? Accreditation has always been an open book examination, book given to you to study for as long as you want. Why then do we need CAPA? International accreditations classify these standards and look only as supercritical areas requiring systematic improvement plans which go on for months and years. Ours comes to us in 5 days. What amount of training can you impart to people in 5 days? How can you bring about change management within a month? Antibiotic stewardship, one of my favorite friend and colleague Sanjeev Singh's top pet peeve. If we were so CAPA-ish about antibiotic stewardship and reducing antibiotic resistance, why is Sanjeev talking for the last 15 years about antibiotic stewardship? Why have we not been able to bring a change in this country? I come from a company that has manufactured 3 new antibacterial compounds in the last 10 years. Ladies and gentlemen, it takes 40 years to create a new compound. And the CAPA which is suggested is you go and tell your consultant, don't use meropenem and vancomycin for TKR. And he says yes, and you take a letter saying I will not use, and that's the CAPA. If you really want to send a CAPA, send me your procurement data showing reduction on meropenem and vancomycin. If you really want to show me hand hygiene compliance, show me an increased use of soap, show me an increased amount of water being used. If you really want to show that your signature, name, date, time is happening, preventive action would be indulging and putting in money into an electronic medical record. Ladies and gentlemen, I have a set of slides. The concept of corrective action, preventive action is not an eyewash. The hypothesis today is that corrective action, preventive action in its present avatar is definitely an eyewash. The quality manager's job is to assemble a host of documents and shove it off. And then there is the poor assessee. 1 minute more?
30 seconds more.
Then there is the poor assessor who is also time bound because there are people breathing down his neck and saying, hey, listen, you didn't send us the report. There are systems and processes in place that can improve the healthcare of this country. I'm a nationalist Indian. I live and breathe for my country. If we really want to improve this country's healthcare before Viksit Bharat 2047, or if we want Viksit Bharat to come, we'll have to improve on this so-called eyewash. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Parag. It's always a pleasure listening to you, but we have the king himself, Dr. Suneel Mundkur, ladies and gentlemen.
But Dr. Parag, the AMR still is there because you don't use antibiotics properly. So don't blame Sanjeev.
Amrita, everybody uses everything properly.
You are using his time.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. All quality professional staff managers here, please answer this question, yes or no.
Nobody is answering.
Gaurav, he asked the audience.
Yeah, I'm saying about the audience, no one is answering.
You take corrective action, preventive action because it is important for accreditation and not for quality or safety. Answer yes or no yourself. You take corrective action, preventive action because top management is not committed to quality and safety. They want accreditation. You take corrective action, preventive action because quality team is a bunch of jokers and not a group of terrorists. You take corrective action, preventive action because no one else wants to take up this job and only you have to do it. You take corrective action, preventive action because you don't enjoy or love your work and hate quality. You take corrective action, preventive action because maintaining quality is accreditor's job, not mine. If your answer to any of these questions is yes, problem with you or your top management and not with CAPA. So you are with my team. And if your answer is no for anything, you agree that CAPA is not an eyewash. So you are not with the opposite team. That is great. This slide I got it from Lalu when he takes advanced CPKH classes on the quality of the accreditation coordinator. I have additional things to add. He must be a firefighter. He must be a document scanner. He must be a professional email sender and copy and paste specialist. He must be a brand ambassador for GPT. and most insecure employee. It should be a part-time detective and mobile database of all formats and SOPs. Let's see the journey of closure of corrective, non-conformances and corrective and preventive actions. Audit report. In the audit report, you see 1 NC, 2 NC, 10 NCs, and suddenly life becomes NC oriented. Happy that you got only few NCs. You don't see people anymore, you see potential root causes. Life is beautiful. Then you will go into investigative mode. Walk into departments like, relax, I just want to know what happened. You ask one simple question, get 15 different answers. Go for root cause analysis. Root cause analysis is a payment of strengthening and success for any corrective and preventive actions. CAPA, many of us think that corrective and preventive action, it's also coffee and panic actions. It requires corrective writing skills. Your writing skills will improve. CAPAs directly address risks, reducing errors, infections and adverse events and mitigate. Realize caffeine is a critical resource for quality improvement.
By the way, he's speaking for us. Thank you.
CAPA defines accountability. Departments are assigned responsibility with timeliness. There is ownership, not avoidance. Everybody is made accountable, so the burden on the quality team will come down. Follow-ups, 1 reminder, 2 reminders, 10 reminders. Your email subject line becomes gentle reminder, reminder, urgent, final reminder, please. Enjoy the perseverance. Life is so beautiful. Victory of success. Finally, 1 NC closed. Feel powerful and confident. Like you just opened the Harmuz Strait for organization. You walk around like, yes, quality has been restored. Enjoy corrective and preventive actions. Final outcome. Problem is solved and prevented. Every NC we close makes the system safer, better and stronger. Yes, we panic, we chase, we survive, but in the end, we improve the quality. So what the accreditors think? They were telling that the accreditation committee also 20 seconds more. 100% compliance is not required. 3 out of 5 is NC, 4 out of 5 is not enough. If there is an action plan towards improvement, NC considered as closed. And if CAPA looks like an eyewash, you can't avoid verification assessment. So if CAPA were an eyewash, accreditation would collapse. But instead, it has consistently raised the bar of healthcare quality and time over. 30 seconds. Calling CAPA an eyewash is like blaming a medicine because the patient didn't take it properly. The problem is not with the system, but its implementation. So let us not dismiss CAPA as an eyewash, because in the world of quality, CAPA is not cover up, it is clean up. So CAPA shifts healthcare organization from reactive to proactive quality environment, develops culture of safety and quality in the hospital. Who are you bluffing by making an eyewash? Who is at loss? Is the accreditors, assessor, accreditation committee or secretariat? No. It's you yourself and your organization. So let's stop bluffing ourselves and take proper corrective actions for the closure of non-conformances. Thank you so much.
The only point that I could think of while he was speaking is, Bhaiya, कहना क्या चाहते हो? You were actually on our side, so thank you for making the point. Can we have the rebuttal session, please?
Before that, if he can terrorize the audience, we can entertain the audience too with our dance moves.
It was not terrorizing. It was clarity in the concept what we are talking about based on experience. So for the rebuttal, I would like to invite Dr. Parag to go, please, from our side.
So at the very outset, it's obvious that, our team which says that CAPA is not an eyewash has obviously spent a lot of money digging YouTube. As you can see, the amount of videos that they've invested in. I think Dr. Mundkur has now got a team of cats who lives in his place. But let's get to the actual rebuttal. I don't want to be as frivolous as my competitors, my honorable, quote unquote, also assessors. Also one assessor for an international organization also on the other side. Let's not miss that, but I won't name the person. I won't name her. What gets measured gets managed, said madam. What gets ignored gets repeated. If that is the case, then why should you ignore it in the first place? Why do you need a CAPA to tell you that? She said that intent leads into safer action. Lovely words. I got married. The intent was good, but see how unsafe I am today. CAPA is not going to change that, ladies and gentlemen, okay? She said we are talking about resilient systems. Everybody knows that the moment accredited assessors go away, people, not the system, we are not talking about national or international accreditation, people tend to shy away from their duties, systems and processes do collapse. And remember, when Alayamma at 2 o'clock gives Mr. Patil the medication which is high alert with a maker checker, that's when we've truly arrived. And that's the Viksit Bharat that I would aspire to look at. That's where we should go with the accreditation, not indulge in this whole paper exercise of CAPA. For 60 years, we had one family that terrorized this country. For the last 20 years, we've had CAPA terrorizing us. We are now on to Naya Bharat, Nayi Soch. I also heard this wonderful thing about Yenna Raskala. So you see, when you don't have points to show, you get not only yourself, you also ask the patrons of this lovely organization to call us rascals. Now that, frankly, Sanjeev, was a little below the belt. In my case, a lot. More. Okay? And we talk about culture. We established our national accreditation in the year 2005. International accreditation is surviving for 60 years. If that was the case, that we've established the culture of quality in our organizations well, we wouldn't need a quality manager. We would have everybody doing things on their own properly. And yes, you do send sleepless nights even after sending CAPA, because you know that despite sending CAPA, your team is still going to make mistakes at night. And that's why every benevolent, good, well-meaning CEO should spend sleepless nights till his systems and processes are not in place. Remember what Edwards Deming said, all mistakes belong to the system and the system belongs to management. Thank you.
Thank you. We have the next rebuttal, Dr. Suneel Mundkur.
Sorry. CAPA is not a paperwork. Who said? No. Documentation is proof of action, not the action itself. Without it, there is no accountability and traceability. You cannot do the paperwork and close it. Close NC is for the sake of closure. No chance. Effectiveness checks and re-audits are like Kochi aunties. Fake CAPA gets exposed faster than a secret crush at a family wedding. Be careful. RCA are manipulated. No, again wrong. Structured tools like Fishbone, 5 Eyes make root cause analysis systematic and objective, not arbitrary. You have to answer all the whys. Same problems keep recurring. Sir, please listen. Let's be clear, CAPA did not fail. Blame the half-work, full confidence implementation and no top management support from you. Compliance from 60 to 80% is also good, even when 100% is difficult to achieve. Be optimistic. And CAPA is a burden and stress. No, again. Do you have any other option? No. Then do take corrective action, preventive action. Temporary discomfort leading to long-term safety and efficiency. अगर तुम चाहोगी कोई न चाहोगी तो कोई बात नहीं, अगर तुम किसी और को चाहोगी तो मुश्किल होगी. If you are still in doubt, just try making an eyewash. After all, one of today's debaters might be tomorrow's accreditation committee boss. Be careful. So corrective action, preventive action has done only good, no harm. Accept it. It's not an eyewash. Thank you so much.
I would again say, कहना क्या चाहते हो भाई? आप हमारे तरफ से बात कर रहे हो. Thank you so much. But I think to sum it up, I would rather say that, it's very important that we identify what's the problem, we find the root cause and we close it forever, so that that one medication error or that one patient fall that they spoke about, I should not be the one or you should not be the one at the receiving end who faces that when we are at any point of time admitted in any of the hospitals. Think meaningfully. that whatever we do, it has to be meaningful. I would just like all of you to please put your right hand on your heart and raise your hand to tell us if you believe in what we said. Are we really doing the job in the right way that it should be done? Can I please request you guys, all of you sitting in the audience, to just put your right hand on your heart and just raise your hands? Can we please have your hands up?
Where are you?
Please have your hands up. Great, thank you.
So that was a wonderful debate. The essence of the debate is actually an introspection on CAPA should not be an eyewash. We all need to do it really because we need to do continual improvement. We need to ensure that we go to the root cause so that it benefits our patients finally. So finally, we won.
Yay! This is a self-acclamation of we won. You had already seen their plan. They had already agreed initially itself, the video that I showed.
That was the eyewash. That was the eyewash.
No, but the point is that whatever we do, we have to do it meaningfully, and that's what we would ask all of you together as a team on the stage.
So you also agree that it is not an eyewash?
I never said that. I am saying please do it meaningfully. Please make sure that those errors don't get repeated again. Thank you so much, all of you. Thank you so much. Thank you to our panelists here. Thank you.
To our excellent debaters.
That was intense. If nothing else, I think we all have silently promised ourselves to review at least one CAPA when we get back.